and welcome to One to Watch, powered by Football Index, where you bet on the football stock market by buying shares in the world's top players. I'm joined, as always, by Sir Alan McInally. How are we, Al?
Hello, Emma. How are you?
I'm good, cheers. How are you?
Good. All good.
Let's get cracking. Who's our first one to watch today?
Well, I think it's a great signing. I'm going to throw Thomas Partey in. 45 million, which was his release clause, and I think Arteta has decided, as good as Arsenal have been under him, he knows that the middle of the park is somewhere that he needs to strengthen, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic signing. Thomas Partey, definitely on Football Index, one to watch.
Absolutely. 27 years of age, 27 caps for Ghana, and Arsenal, as we know, recently activated £45 million release clause on deadline day. In your opinion, Al, how does he line up? How does he fare compared to Granit Xhaka?
Well, I know the stats is probably going to favour Thomas Partey, but I think in terms of his, I'm not the biggest fan of Granit Xhaka, to be quite honest with you. And you know, he's questioned a few times. He's had a tough time at Arsenal. He's fallen out with them. He's back in again, probably down to the manager. And himself and Mohamed El Neni, I don't think, to be honest, are anywhere near what Thomas Partey is going to bring to the party for Arsenal. And I think, yeah, no, sorry about that. And I do think the 45 million business by Arsenal has been really, really good. And I don't actually think you realise how good a player he is. Even to play Atletico Madrid under the manager, you need to have something about you. And I think he'll prove to all the Arsenal fans it's a great signing.
Well, you mentioned the stats there, Al, and we can see them now. We can see a few comparisons. Even just looking at those, I mean, you look at tackles, Partey 76, Xhaka 48. Recoveries, Partey 240, Xhaka 208. Duels won, Partey 241, Xhaka 160. So not bad at all comparison.
No, that recovery stat, Emma's really good, because if you think of the Alan at Everton, if you think of I'm trying to think of some of the players that that give you that kind of cover. Certainly, it's so much in my head at the moment, Alan, because everybody's talking about him, and Everton have certainly been absolutely fantastic. I think that's one of the ones that I think that Arteta will be thinking, apart from all those other great stats you gave me, that recovery and the duel win is one where he wants that real combative experience in the middle of the park, and I think it's going to help Arsenal hugely. I really do.
And we know that, he's got a great interest in the Premier League and English football. Supporters have been watching Arsenal since 2018 and references some of his idols as being Michael Essien and Yaya Toure. So clearly, he follows it and he loves it.
Yeah, he does, absolutely. And if he's anywhere near as good as the lads he just mentioned, Essien and Yaya Toure, my goodness, he's going to be an absolute superstar. And remember as well, he's not coming to Arsenal to pick up good money. He's coming to one of the top teams in the world, albeit Arsenal are not maybe just at the level that they want to be at, but they've got a manager in place that seems to have changed the whole shooting match there. And he's coming to qualify for the Champions League, play in it, and win something at Arsenal. So I think it's a really good signing, and I genuinely think he will definitely be for us one to watch.
I'd agree with that, Al. Right, feel free, as always, to have your say in the comments below. Al, who is our second one to watch this week?
Well, it's another one that potentially he was going to be the next big thing, and I'm going to throw in Jack Wilshere. He's obviously terminated his contract with West Ham. Hasn't worked out there for him. And you're going to tell me he's had a few injuries. I know he has. But I'm going to throw him into the one to watch because I do think he's still a Premier Division football player if he can stay fit.
I mean, obviously, he was on loan. He was with Bournemouth. He played 27 games for them, scored no goals and provided 2 assists. But Bournemouth fans seem to love him. And I don't know if you saw his tweet, Al, but he tweeted, we can see it now, and he referenced, that he was sad to see them relegated, had an amazing time with them. And they replied saying, we loved having you, best of luck next season. Could that be a potential link there?
Well, yes, naturally. I think he did have a good time down there and did okay and played a few games as well, which is what he had to prove to do with his fitness. I'm presuming he was on a paper play there, so it worked out okay for him. But I think I didn't really like, he did an open letter as well, Emma, I think, saying that, I was fit, I was ready to go at West Ham, but the manager wouldn't pick me. And I was a bit like, Jack, there's another 20, 30, 40 players could write the same letter because they're not being, they're fit and ready to go. and they're not being picked by the manager to play. Sometimes that just happens, whether a manager fancies you or he's like, move on, sorry, go and do your thing. How old is he? He's not that old, is he?
28 years of age, so...
28, my goodness, you still get plenty of football in him. The biggest, when you throw the Bournemouth thing, and I'm like, yeah, there is a connection there for sure. In me, I'm thinking, good player, Jack Wilshere. Is he still a Premier Division football player? I think he is. I genuinely think he is. And there must be Premier Division football clubs that are thinking, we'll take him, we'll definitely take him. But we'll just have to sort of, watch this window almost, I suppose. But I do still think that Jack has plenty to offer. And if he's telling everybody that he's as fit as he thinks he is, then surely he's got to be a positive for your football club.
And surely he's got to be one to watch. Feel free to have your say, as always, in the comments below. Our third and final one to watch this week, Al, Joshua King, 28 years of age, and Bournemouth are looking to sell, obviously now with the only options being in England.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Norwegian lad, played quite a lot of games, I think, for Norway. I tell you, at one point, himself and Callum Wilson had a wonderful partnership. They really did. I think he got a couple of injuries. Both of them actually did, didn't they? Because it kind of eventually led to Bournemouth, staring down the barrel and unfortunately getting relegated. I actually thought at one point he was going to go on the same level as Callum Wilson's gone. On that same upward curve. And for whatever reason, it just hasn't happened for him. He's a good player. Again, injuries has played a problem for him. But there's got to be teams in England would be happy looking at Joshua King.
He has been linked with a few, so I'll run through them in a second.
Okay.
And tell me whether you think he'd be a good fit there. But on board in all competitions, Al, played 171 games for them, scored 50 goals and provided 17 assists. Not bad at all. So, no. Linked, you say yay or nay, whether you think he'd fit there, right? Fulham.
Okay. Yes.
Aston Villa.
No.
West Brom.
Yes.
Spurs.
No.
Man United, where he obviously started his career.
He started. No, he won't get back. He won't get in that team.
Everton.
I can see him going to Everton. I can see him helping Everton. I think he'd be a decent signing. Maybe just a squad player, but I can see him going. And I'll throw Burnley in there as well, possibly. I think that there was a. You're quite good with all the stats and all that. I think he was on a few quid there. I think he was on good money.
£6,000 a week in the Championship. Right,
so he's on 10 grand less than what you get.
I wish.
So he's making good money. So and he's probably had to take a cut because they've gone into the Championship. I just think, again, we're talking potential. We try and sort of second guess things in Football Index and throw them into the one to watch, because there's other things in there that can help everybody if you have them on your side. And I do genuinely believe there will be the clubs we spoke about interested in taking Joshua King. Of course, you have to talk on the other side of things. Bournemouth will be delighted if they can keep him, score goals, and get them back into the Premiership. They've had a good start to the season, but I definitely think Joshua King is worthy of being in our Football Index one to watch, for sure.
He certainly is. Feel free to have your say in the comments below. Thank you very much for that, Al.
You're welcome. Nice to see you.
And thank you for joining us, as always, for Ones to Watch, powered by Football Index, where you bet on the football stock market by buying shares in the world's top players. We'll see you next week.